So one other thread that I didn't mention is the form of these poems all together is in the form of a rosary. And a rosary is what in Catholic religion you pray like to the Virgin Mary. And you can also pray this when somebody passes before the funeral. You have a rosary where you pray a rosary. So the first two poems of Foot and Our Dance were part of. In a rosary, you have 5 mysteries, and so that first mystery is the first mystery. The soldier courts a wife. So that's about the soldier courting a wife. And I'm going to read some poems from the second and third mystery. So second mystery, this section is called A Soldier's Life. Eyes, the jungle. The 22nd Sunday, his 0400-hour shift. He was guarding the barrels, chemicals they would spray to kill the jungle. He smelled him first. He never smelled shit before Nam, but there he could smell everything. BO, urine, gasoline, sulfur from gunfights a mile away. That night he smelled tobacco. He knew they crushed by hand, then tucked it into paper, rolled it tightly, and passed it around amongst themselves. A spice he could not name, but bitter. And there among the trees, bushes, ground cover, it was all jungle. He saw a faint slit of a cigarette. He held his weapon pointed that way. He knew the other was pointing his weapon his way. He'd seen my dad. My dad had seen him light up as if could there be more out there? Maybe. Unless the other was alone, why was he smoking? They were both covered by a canopy of tree limbs. My father crouched. He had not killed yet. He was ready, but he hoped he would leave. It was Sunday. My dad had made a promise, no killing on Sundays. But he heard the metal cocking, and it was automatic. He brought his M16 up and aimed it an inch above where the slit was and fired. That sound he would hear again. The body dropping onto the damp earth. My father did not move. He scanned the dark for slits, glints of metal, breathing, BO, anything that said Viet Cong. But he was alone again, the stars shining over him, the moon silent, waning, his cigarette still in his mouth. The third mystery, a soldier's child is born and bred. Hand, the first beating. The twin, white lace, canopy bed. His belt breaks, the halo in pieces upon me. Lips, what he said. He said that he never hit me, never beat me, spanked me, yes, slapped me, yes, beat me, no. I don't know what a beating is, he said. A beating is blood. And he never made me bleed, he said, not once. He said that I was wrong, that I lied, I talked back. He said that he never hit me, never beat me, as I say, that I needed discipline, I needed to be controlled, I needed to be taught. Besides, if he did not do it, imagine who would. With me going around our barrio all high and mighty, they would have eaten me alive. He said, I should be thankful, appreciate it. None of the playground shit he endured prepared him for what he saw in Nam, what he had to do, what he did. My mother wouldn't do it, so he had to. He had to push me down so that I would not try to come up in the barrio without knowing that it would be hard. When he slapped me, I had it coming. The times the leather belt calls welts, I had it coming. He trained me. I had to be taught. Maybe I hated him for it, but so be it, he said. He didn't have to be loved or liked. He was a man, a father. And I would never know what that meant, ever. So the fourth mystery is a soldier and his daughter's journey. Foot, the pilgrimage to La Virgen de San Juan. A 3-foot statue of the mother my father was set on seeing to fulfill a promesa he had made in Nam. On the other side of Corpus, in the old barrio where we all used to live, there at the church she visited every year. The parking lot filled with cars and the sign, Viene la Reina de San Juan. Tamales, flautas, fajita tacos, chalupas sold from tables set around the perimeter, holding us in, captive in the line that curved around the lot twice, indicating a 2-hour wait at least. Purses con la Virgen, hats con la Virgen, t-shirts con la Virgen. She was on everything out there. Interdispersed with mumbling about how she heals us, how she brings us money we don't have, how she makes a whore a wife and mother, a deadbeat into an honorable man earning a living wage. She was the maker of miracles, and my name was Milagros, so he took me every year. Once inside, the pews, aisles, walls packed with women, pregnant, viejitas, mocosas like me, veiled. At the altar, boxed in plexiglass, La Virgen presided. Her toddler-sized vestment spun purple silk, gold-trimmed hems, and armholes. Her hands holding a scepter, its dome the size of a small apple. Waves of hands reaching, clasped to bosoms, heaving with crosses, rising, falling, passing rosaries like bread from hand to mouth. Mumblings raging, a mass of veils, lace, perfumed powder, todo para la Virgen. High, low tones, quick, slow, no end, breath, prayer. Madre nuestra que estás en el cielo, Padre nuestro, perdona nuestras ofensas. Virgen, ruega por nosotros, all on our knees. Join the procession, crawl over the concrete floor to La Virgen, knees carrying us, bracing on up one another, bodies pressed in adoration, aisles and pews full for La Virgen. My knees, the prayers bruising, blood pooling beneath the skin for La Virgen. My father, his miracle-making promise, healing, his hand holding my hand, sobs, sheets of incense, a clean burning scent of so many women, fried frijoles, maja powder, and hairnut spray evaporating. Jesucristo, Santa Maria's chains of words linking my father as he reached to touch La Virgen, her skirt flapping out of the plastic box. He becomes a wail, Sálvame, 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 until we are pushed past her, out of the womb of women. His mouth closes again, his hands. We are ushered out the side door by 2 men and walk into the small garden where the priest grows squash and corn. Later in the car, he sits for a while, his hands on the steering wheel, crying, and I stand by the door, silent and still. Thank you.